Then another fear that a lot of people have financially is not having enough for retirement. And this fear gets more and more real and more tangible as people get older, right? As you get closer to that retirement age, a lot of people realize that they didn't do the things that they were supposed to do to get to where they were supposed to be by the time that they were supposed to be there. And that is tough. That's tough. That's tough to get over. It's tough to not have those years to get back, right? Because we know that there's only two ways really that we can grow our money. We can either have higher rates of return or we can have more time with more contributions, right? So the time aspect really gets eaten away at, and then you have to come up with more contributions if you want to build your money up, and you have to take more risk than maybe you would have had to otherwise in order to build the money up if you wait too long, right? So a lot of people not having enough for retirement, it's a very real deal. It's a very real thing, because just think about this. Just think about even if you built up $1 million, which is it's a great feat. And it's something that we should be pushing towards, that millionaire status. But let's say it's just $1 million. I say just $1 million, but you'll see why here momentarily. Right? If it's just $1 million, and let's say that you're used to living on, $100,000 a year. Well, that's 10% of $1 million. So that means in order to perpetually, meaning forever, create that $100,000 cash flow every single year, what you have to do is you have to make 10% on your money in retirement. Means you're going to have to take a lot of risk in retirement just to keep the money that you do have, the $1 million that you do have, and live the lifestyle that you currently live. And most people are not in that good of a situation. Most people do not have $1 million in a nest egg. Most people are nowhere close to having $1 million in a nest egg. And given that that is the case, I understand that not having enough for retirement can be scary. And I understand that you may think that you can retire at 55 like your parents did or like your grandparents did, but things have changed. And pension plans aren't around anymore. Social Security is as fragile as it's ever been. And we're in this place where we're having to create this income for ourselves into the future. And in trying to do so, we have to have the nest egg in order to create that income as we move forward. And a lot of people are afraid that they're not going to have the income that they should have. And a lot of people aren't. And so a lot of people are forced into working more years. A lot of people are forced into taking side hustles in retirement to bring in more income. A lot of people are forced into living on less than they did when they were working in retirement because they cannot create as much income. It is unfortunate, but it's a very real fear. It's a very real thing that people are having to put up with. But if you are young enough, listen to me. Start as early as you can saving for retirement. If you don't think that you can, right? Start with small amounts, $50, $100, $150 a month. It will add up, and you can grow it as you move forward. You can grow the contributions that you make as you move forward. But it will allow you to stay out of this place where you are fearful of having enough when you are retired, right? Some people are past the point of no return. Some people are already, pushing up towards retirement, and they can see that the finish line is bleak and that the finish line may be pushed further and further away if they're actually going to reach a finish line, right? But you can reach whatever finish line you want to if you're young enough. If you have time on your side, then you can reach whatever finish line you want to reach, however quickly you want to reach it. But you have to put in the effort now. You have to do the things now to alleviate this fear in the future. And if you're already in this place where you have this fear, let's say you're in your 40s or 50s and you're looking towards retirement and you're fearful that you're not going to have enough, there's only a few things you can do. What you can do is you can be putting more away. You can be, again, there's taking more risk, but that's a little more dangerous than, putting more away. Or you can decide that, hey, I'm going to work more hours in order to have more money to put away. Or I'm going to work when I'm retired, right? It's not going to be a true retirement. I'm going to have some part-time gig or at least some, easy gig that I can bring in money on the side. And maybe you can alleviate this fear for yourself. But this fear should not keep you from trying. When we see that so many people don't have enough for retirement and so many people are scared of what is waiting on them in retirement, that should not keep you from actually doing something. That should not keep you from saving for retirement. If anything, it should be pushing you towards retirement saving. It should be pushing you toward saving money for your future and putting money away and growing it over the long term. Look, you can do it. You absolutely can do it. Especially if time is on your side, you can do it. But this should not be a fear that you end up having if you start early enough, if you follow the financial action plan, because I put all of these things in here, all the investing for retirement, investing for your future type steps. And in having those there, if you just follow them, you should have what you need when it comes time to retire. But you need to start as early as possible working the plan and getting to those steps.